Hi everybody and welcome back to today's Thursday Tech Tips. And on today's video we are going to be going over dual display setup and being able to work through how to be able to get the screen capture to be able to show up on both screens, how to set up the layout for your monitor so that way things are organized a little bit better, as well as how to adjust it to be able to change from duplicating, extending, and to showing things on only one screen. So make sure you tune in to continue and figure out how this works. Here we are. I am viewing both my screens. You can see all the recording magic in the background here, which is probably a kind of a cool look for most of you guys. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up our settings tab. Actually, there's a few different ways that you can get into your display settings. The first way that I like to do it is being able to right click on your desktop. On Windows 11, it does give you a settings option. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Or you go into settings, system, and then there's a display option right at the top. And what we're looking for here is the ability to be able to see multiple screens. So right now I have both my screens set up. I have screen number 1, screen number 2. The best way to be able to find out what screen you're working on is by hitting identify. By hitting identify, that's going to show you on both screens which screen is listed as number 1 and which screen is listed number 2. And that's determined based off of your ports on your computer. So we are here in the display settings and I have monitors 1 and 2 set up. And we're going to go through some of these options here. So when we're looking at screen number 1, that's this main display here. This is the screen that I have as my higher resolution. You can see that there's a definite size difference between these. To be able to check on the scale for those, you can come down here. So right now I have this set to 150. Otherwise, everything is going to be too small for me to be able to see it. Shows you your display resolution, which we can also adjust down and up depending on what we're working on. In this case, since I have things up at the 4K resolution, I want to keep things there. You can also change the landscape and portrait orientation. So say if I wanted one of my monitors rotated or flipped, I can do that with this as well. We have the advanced display options, which actually goes into like being able to adjust your refresh rate or being able to check and see if HDR is enabled, to be able to check your bit depth and some information about your display adapter that you have things plugged into. And you can do that across both monitors. To be able to view the different screen settings, you click on the second screen, and then you can go through and select if you wanted that to be your main display. It would shoot all of your icons to the other display. So if I do that for a moment, you'll see how the screen shrunk and expanded. That's a nice little notification feature in Windows 11 to be able to show that. And now you'll see that all of my icons are now over on the secondary screen, which I don't want. So we're going to go ahead and adjust that back. So I'm going to go ahead and click on screen 1. We're going to say that make this my main display. And now it's going to bring everything back over here. Now, we are going to come down to advanced display. And you'll see that's the same settings as the other one because I didn't click on the right one. So we'll come down to advanced display settings. You'll be able to see my current resolution and setup for this other monitor. But we also want to talk about how to be able to adjust this. So say right now, since my screens are so large, I have it so that way I have to have my mouse right in the middle of my other screen to be able to get to the top edge of this top one. So if you watch my mouse going across, you'll see it come across to the top of the screen, the higher toward the middle I go. Because that's how things are set up. And then it even doesn't go right to the top. This is about as far as I can get it right here. And it only comes about halfway through my screen. So say if I wanted it to be corner to corner, if I bring that up and say apply, now some of these settings may cause the display to jump off and I apologize for that. But now if I go over the top left corner of my screen, my corners are connected, but still, I wouldn't be able to drag things from the bottom of the screen. And I tend to like going straight across the middle, especially with my files. Actually, that moved pretty seamless that time, which is kind of nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop that back down to the middle here. I'm going to say apply again. Let that give it a second. And now I can drag that across through the middle here. And you can see it gets a little finicky sometimes, especially with the change in resolution. You'll see how much bigger those screens are compared to the other one, which is always interesting. But one of the big things that people want to be able to do, and they added this nice little feature here in Windows 11, is being able to extend these displays or duplicate. So for an example, if I wanted my first screen to be duplicated on my second screen, instead of having this set to display or extend, I would change this to just duplicate these displays. And now it's going to really screw up my resolution a little bit, but now both screens are going to be showing that current resolution. So now let's go ahead and send this back. I'm going to go extend that again. Oh, come on. There it goes. Keep changes. And you'll see here now that things are back to normal. Now, it really kind of screwed things up for a second. I'm sorry if it looked a little funny. But that's the best way to be able to show how that connection works. And that's how you display and extend your screens out. So if you're ever noticing that you're seeing both things on the same screen at the same time and you want to extend that out, you're going to want to change that extend setting to make sure that it's sending out to the other screen. So that's going to be it for today's Thursday Tech Tip. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys wanted more, if you have more questions or more reasons why you want to be able to see how that works for extending your displays or working with multiple monitors, feel free to go ahead and subscribe to Facepalm Studio. Leave a comment down below for us to be able to answer. Make sure you leave tweet the thing at Facebook or on YouTube, on Twitter, to be able to reach out to us and ask more questions if you have them. That's it for today, guys. Thanks. Save the pain. The facepalm moment. Bye.